Good Tuesday, everyone. It's weather for Weather Geeks time. Welcome back. Another in-depth weather discussion here for the Mahoning and Shenango Valleys, taking us out through Christmas. There's a lot to talk about today with the Bo Pelini hiring at YSU. My time on TV this evening will be a little shorter than usual because a lot of time is going to be devoted to sports. So this is my chance to kind of get out my message for the day. And what I want to talk about is two events around and before Christmas that is going to set the stage for some mood snow, I think, for the holiday. First of all, on my weather blog, which is ericwfmj.com, a lot of you watched this video on that blog page. Well, I did a text blog this morning. This is not a video, but this morning I posted a text blog with a lot of graphics, including this one, kind of interesting. Thanks to meteorologist Mike Joyce for cooking this one up. Over the last 80 years, almost half of those Christmas days had at least 1 inch of snow on the ground, which is a little surprising, but at the same time, these stats, as always, are good for Vienna, where the airport is, which tends to be a snowier place than anywhere in Mahoning County, Columbiana County, Lawrence County. Vienna is a little more representative of the northern half and the northern half of Trumbull and the northern half of Mercer counties, which, of course, are a little bit snowier. Now, as far as accumulating snow on Christmas Day itself, only about 13% of Christmas days have featured a system that has brought an inch or more worth of snow. Most people consider a white Christmas, the definition, to be an inch of snow on the ground, and or an inch of snow or more occurring during the day on Christmas. So some fun statistics there. And of course, this blog deals with what we have coming up in terms of snow opportunities before and around Christmas, which I'm going to get to in this video in just a couple of minutes. In the near term, it's not snow, it's rain today. We've got some rain showers still around. I'm recording this just before 2 p.m., and it's raining around Youngstown and all of Trumbull County, really. Columbiana, especially the northern third of the county, getting a little bit of rain. And what you see is what you get today. These showers will continue rotating in from the west for the rest of the afternoon and into tonight. There's going to be breaks in between. This is a very showery type system where there's not a big blob of rain that sits for 5 hours, but they come and they go. There was even a peak or two of sun that tried to come out in between showers around midday today. That's not going to be the case for the rest of the day. On the cold side of this, it is some snow shower activity up here across northern Wisconsin into the UP of Michigan. And as this colder air dumbbells down south and east, I think we'll see some flurries tomorrow, particularly in the morning. Maybe there's a leftover flurry in the northern part of our viewing area for the afternoon tomorrow. But the clouds extend all the way down here into the south. It's an overcast day. It's mild temperatures. Look at this, 50 degrees at the Youngstown Warren Airport at the this would be the 2 o'clock observation. Just taking a couple of minutes before I recorded this. It's not cold out. It's certainly too warm for any snow, but the cold air is lurking back to the west. There it is, out across the Midwest, where it's only in the teens and the 20s. We're not going to see air quite that cold, but that air mass is going to come east. Across the rest of the country today, real quick look at temperatures. Take off the radar here. Whoops. Take a look at temperatures here, and you can definitely pick out where we have some typical wintertime chill up in the upper Midwest into Canada. It's not bad in the south, although, even for parts of the south, this is a little chilly in December. It's only 56 in Phoenix. It's in the 60s in Houston. That's pretty nice. And if anybody's vacationing in Orlando, nice day down there with temperatures in the lower 70s. All right, let's get to the next couple of days quickly here because we do want to talk quite a bit about the longer range. Again, you're going to expect to see some showers, I think, off and on through tonight. I'm going to fast forward to tomorrow morning at about daybreak. Here we are tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. And the colder air is wrapping in, and although the model shows this as green, it doesn't differentiate between the rain and the snow in this view. I do think this will be some flurry activity. In fact, I can actually bring up the precipitation type. Let's see here. It's down here. And there you go. A little bit of blue specks going on here. So I think you're going to see some flurries tomorrow, particularly during the morning hours. Again, if you're watching us from northern parts of our viewing area, there might be a lingering flurry up in northern Trumbull, northern Mercer in the afternoon. No big deal either way. Overall, a pretty uneventful day. It's going to be a day where temperatures don't move much, though. As we drop into the 30s tonight, I think, we're just going to kind of stay there all day tomorrow. Here's tomorrow evening simulated radar based on the latest high-res NAM. And there'll be another little disturbance pivoting back down. And so while a lot of us will see nothing going on tomorrow afternoon, as we get into tomorrow evening and tomorrow night, I think there'll be another round of flurries. Maybe there's enough snow shower activity to coat the ground up in the primary snow belt, but I don't think we have to worry about that. in our viewing area in and around Youngstown. So a quiet little stretch then, it looks like, for the most part, as we head into Thursday and Friday. Then the weekend rolls around. All right, there's been some waffling around with the models as usual, and we're talking about the medium range, but now that we're within 4 or 5 days, thankfully today, there's been a more consistent message being advertised by the models, at least in terms of our practical weather here. Anybody on the East Coast or the Mid-Atlantic states, there's still some question marks there, but our forecast back here is looking, our confidence in it's definitely higher than it was yesterday. What I think we're looking at is a system Saturday evening into Saturday night that's going to spread some light snow into eastern Ohio and western Pennsylvania. It's going to be a low down here that's kind of dying out and one that tries to take over at the coast. But as this, initial low tracks north and east, I think late Saturday into Saturday night, some light snow is going to push in. Now, it's not going to be that cold. Surface temperatures Saturday night, the 32-degree line, if you look closely, is this red line that's snakes around here. It might not be much colder than 30 degrees Saturday night. So especially if the snow is pretty light, which I think it will be, this isn't going to be a big travel headache, especially on main roads. It doesn't look like it at this point. The timing on this, again, if you have shopping to do this weekend, if you have relatives coming in for the holidays on Saturday, or if you're leaving for the holidays on Saturday, most of the daylight hours at this point I think are okay. Right now I think the timing is more so Saturday night, perhaps into parts of Sunday. Here's the middle of the night, Saturday night at 1 a.m. Again, the 32-degree line is hanging around here, so it's not a real cold air mass in place. And at this point, the primary low is starting to take over at the coast in North Carolina. So our snow area is going to start to shrink, I think, during the overnight Saturday night. And by Sunday morning, here we're showing you the GFS model here, but other models are similar enough that the confidence is a little higher today. Again, as the Sunday morning, as the primary low is really taking over down here off Cape Hatteras, I think any light snow is going to start to wind down. Any travel issues will dissipate pretty quickly. By Sunday afternoon, probably just some flurries around at that point. So again, the trouble spot is probably Saturday night. Now, based on the GFS model here, how much snow are we talking about? And I talked about this in my blog this morning. The GFS is kind of painting a picture here of a general coating to an inch or two or maybe 3 across the region. The first light shade of blue here, that's the 2-inch threshold. And, this paints 2 inches, perhaps a little bit more in much of our viewing area. I think based on the track and the timing of everything, I think that's about right. I don't think this is a big storm at all. I think this is a coating to an inch or 2, possibly 3. Here's the Canadian model, snowfall accumulations through the weekend. And again, the Canadian timing is similar enough to the GFS. It's a little slower, but similar enough that I still think Saturday night is our trouble spot. Canadian has a little bit beefier look to it as far as snow totals, suggesting that maybe someone, especially in the northern part of our viewing area, gets 4. I'm not sure if the odds are all that good for that just yet. So that's the way the weekend is looking. Now, of course, Christmas is 9 days away. What I think is going to happen is any snow that does accumulate this weekend is probably going to melt mostly as we warm back up above freezing for Sunday afternoon into Monday, perhaps even Tuesday as well. And in fact, Tuesday, it may very well rain next week. This is the 23rd GFS model a week from today with a pretty strong area of low pressure moving through the Great Lakes. Cold front back here, but this is all mild air ahead of it. So this would be rain that falls on Tuesday. Again, any snow that accumulates over the weekend by this point is most likely washed away. But don't lose faith. If you're wishing for a little mood snow for Christmas, here's Christmas Eve morning right here at about 7 a.m., the 24th. Our low's up here. Our cold front is pushed east, and this air mass for Christmas Eve is definitely cold enough for snow showers. Now, does this look like a big storm? No. I don't think we're looking at any sort of big or even moderate accumulations for Christmas Eve into Christmas Day. But I do think there'll be some mood snow. Here's Christmas morning, the 25th. Again, the GFS model here, but other models are similar enough that, I don't need to show you every one of them. And this is light green here, and the air is cold enough. This will be scattered snow showers. Now, up in the snow belts particularly, does someone get some accumulating snow for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day? I think that's a good possibility. And in the secondary snow belts, if you live in northern Trumbull, say maybe north of 82, or northern Mercer, particularly north of I-80, you may very well get some accumulating snow, probably not a ton, but maybe some, for Christmas. Now, if you're watching us from Youngstown, Boardman, Poland, down into Columbiana County, over into Lawrence County, I don't think the odds are real high that there's much in the way of accumulation for Christmas, but some mood snow, sure. There's going to be some flurries and snow showers flying around, and it looks colder and colder as we get closer here for the week between Christmas and New Year's. Here's that week right here. Look at those highs tumbling back through the 20s. So a return to the pattern we had in a lot of November is starting to look a little more likely for the end of the year and heading into the first part of January. That's today's weather for Weather Geeks. Thanks for sticking with me on this long video. I'll see you tonight on 21 News at 6 and 11.